Friday night here on this billboard. Beautiful night out. A little chilly. And I can say South.St.Paul is pretty much a quiet town. Didn't hear no gunshots or nothing like that, believe it or not. I mean, been out here 9 days tomorrow. It's been quiet. Imagine if it was Minneapolis or so on, what it would have been like. But believe it or not, South.St.Paul is a quiet town. It's known for its stockyards, cattle. I know this because I grew up in South.St.Paul, believe it or not. Grew up on Cambria Avenue in townhomes on the bluff there that would have overlooked the stockyards back in the day. Back when them townhomes were built there on Cambria Avenue. Me and my mom, my brother, we were one of the first people to move into them when they were brand new. Brand new. We lived at the top of the hill. We were the third one in. $655, I believe the address, I don't know, but Cambria Avenue. I went to Roosevelt School. That was the elementary school I went to. They tore down that school since then. Now it's a soccer field. Remember, you used to always skipping out, ditching school, going in lake, and note saying I'm tardy, and then just ditching out and walking out the side door, going over to Joe's Bakery on the corner there. Best Long Johns ever, man. Like, being a kid growing up in South.St.Paul, you know, people would, whatever, I guess the old people would talk about, you didn't have to lock your doors at night. You didn't have to worry about, you know, whatever, your kids wind up missing and abducted, or, you know, South.St.Paul was a quiet town. Went to Roosevelt for elementary. Went to Washington for elementary. Went to South.St.Paul High School for about maybe a year, but otherwise went to one on Thompson Avenue. Used to be a Idea. They tore that down. Now they got a elderly home or whatnot there, which would be cross street from Cunningham's. Cunningham's Sporting's good. Back in the day, that place was hot. I mean, whatever you needed for hockey, South.St.Paul's a big hockey town. Believe it or not, when I went to Washington Elementary, my kindergarten teacher was Mrs. Woog. Mrs. Woog used to play volleyball with my Aunt Marilyn. They played volleyball together. They knew each other. But Mrs. Woog was Doug Woog's sister. Anyone from South.St.Paul knows who Doug Woog is. I believe they named the hockey rink there after him. We used to always go sliding down that hill there. Dude, we used to live on Camber. The guy lived across the street from us in that big yellow house on the corner. Tim Kaminsky was his name. Me and my brother, when we were younger, we used to We used to shoot his house windows out with a BB gun, and remember he came over and knocked on the door one morning, and my mom talked with him, and then he wanted to speak with me and my brother, and I thought, man, me and my brother, we were gonna get our ass whooped like never before. And believe it or not, my mom said the neighbor guy across the street wants to talk to you guys, something about his windows being broke. Well, of course, right away we're being kids. We don't know what you're talking about. We don't know nothing. And they go upstairs and look at our screen window. The screen had a bunch of holes in it, you know. I mean, kids not even smart enough to pull the screen off and start doing it. But yeah, that's how we kind of got caught red-handed there. We had a bunch of holes in our screen, but still am in contact with that guy still to this day. Good guy. He's got a big family of like a whole herd of family, like 13 kids or something like that now. He's got a nice little farm with his family and that. Real religious guy, real nice guy. Still in contact with him still this day. So he sat there and talked to me and my brother about, you know, what we did, and instead of that guy whooping our ass, or my mom whooping our ass, he asked us to come over to his house and asked us, you guys like hunting? You guys like firearms? You guys, you know, you guys like bow hunting or anything like that? And then behind his house there, he had a little walkout from his basement, and he had some hay bales set up, and had it set up so he could shoot his bow in that. And asked me and my brother, you know, hey, you know, you want me to teach you guys how to shoot a bow? You know, oh yeah, cool. You know, I mean, it's like, you know, anytime you guys see my vehicle's there in the driveway or I'm home, you know, sorry with your ma, you know, come over. And, you know, if he wasn't busy, he had a couple of roommates that lived with him, but I believe it was his house. And believe it or not, I think he was a prison guard, and one of his other roommates was a prison guard too, way back in the day. I mean, I'm like 40 some years old, born in 78, so I mean, this is back, you know, when I was, man, 12 years old. So yeah, he had a foosball table in his basement and that, I remember. And all the guy said, he said, you know, you know, I know you guys did that, and you know, you know, I work hard for what I got, and I can't really afford to, you know, replace my windows to have you guys have fun and have target practice with them. And you know, it just, man, he just talked to us respect. Like, man, I thought I was gonna get brought down into his basement and get the belt, and my mom said, hey, have at it, go ahead, yeah, you can go over there, yeah. Fuck, I thought we were just sitting on like one hell of a merry-go-round where you're gonna like walk into, I don't know, but ever since then, nice guy. I remember building some go-karts, riding them down Camber Hill and that, crazy as hell. I mean, that hill, like anyone that knows that, Camber Hill, like we lived at the top, man. We'd build go-karts and we'd ride down that hill, like, man, we're crazy kids. Whenever they'd break down or whatever needed to fix, and you know, I only had me, my brother, my mom, you know, no really father figure kind of at that point around, and bring the stuff right across the street over to his house. You know, his house was the only house on top of that hill, and bringing us over. All right, yeah, open his garage and he'd fix our go-kart. And man, during the winter time, him and his roommates, they'd build a nice like bobsled thing going down the hill there in his backyard, which would go right down, and you could see Wakota Arena then, like from the top of that hill, like looking from his backyard. That would big hill going down there. Like, remember during the winter, every winter, them guys would always build an awesome ass bobsled thing, like wet it down. He had some nice inner tubes, and you know, not like the inner tubes like go get it store, like the inner tubes out of a whatever, a semi trailer or semi fucking, you know, inner tubes like that. I mean, crazy. one time actually even going to that Wakota Arena, watching hockey games. Used to always go there all the time on the weekend. I always slide down there and watch hockey games all the time. And I remember one time, Dan Gladden was there. Believe it or not, yeah. Dan Gladden was there, and he was there with his wife. Now this is like I said back in the day, so not to get racist or whatever, but I don't know if people know, but he's got a wife that's, I don't know what you want to refer to, black, colored, whatever, but he was married to a colored woman, and you're talking, you know, not to get racist, all that, but I mean, back then, like I say, when I went to high school, there was only like one black kid in school, you know. So we go to this hockey game, and you see this one white guy with long hair sitting way back in the stand with some black girl. It was like, you know what I'm saying? It was, all these people are around him, and we're wondering, you know, what the heck's going on. I don't know if they had if he had a brother or something that had a kid or someone that played, you know, hockey in, you know, high school or whatever. It wasn't a game pretty much. It was just kind of like scrimmage game, whatever, whatnot. But yeah, crazy, man. Actually, you met Dan Gladden there. You know, he's, who doesn't know who that is, but he played for the Minnesota Twins back like when they won the World Series, and you know, 87 and that. Played with, you know, Kirby Puckett, Kent Herbeck. Yeah, it was neat. Yeah, got his autograph. Still have it to this day. Had it signed on a popcorn box lid there from Wakota Arena. Fucking, I mean, yeah, South.St.Paul for you. I mean, crazy. Still a quiet town. Just like any town, it could probably use help. It's got problems here and there, but schooling, sounds like schooling's still the same. They got good schooling. I ain't saying nothing bad or knocking it or saying whatever. I mean, every place has got problems from that, but I can speak for South.St.Paul. I grew up in South.St.Paul. I remember waking up in the morning, getting ready for school, and having to smell the stockyards. Back then, the still had stockyards going a little bit there. It wasn't like what it was back in the day, but as long as back as I can remember, I remember one time going down there, they had a rodeo going on, believe it or not. I think I actually still have a hat from that time. But for the most part, it hasn't really changed much at all. It's a nice night though. I really do hope resolving this and taking care of this issue kind of soon. No one needs this. No one needs to go through this. No one needs to have to come home or drive to work and see someone on a billboard sign with a big old sign hanging like that in their town, or makes you kind of question like what kind of town is that, you know. I don't agree with my way of doing it or what I'm doing or how it's being done, and I have to deal with this and approach it in a way of a non-violent, non-confrontational, someone with the least amount of friction, the least amount of trouble. I'm not trying to cause trouble. I'm not trying to get in any more trouble. I'm not trying to hurt no one. I'm not trying to hurt myself. I have a daughter, and I love my daughter more than anything. I love my daughter more than my life myself. Itself. Everything I have, everything I own is nothing. Absolutely zero, nothing. Means nothing. Absolutely. Without having my daughter in my life, or trying to mend something, or trying to pick up some of these pieces and trying to adjust it and fix all that. I mean, without that, there is nothing without that. I hope I hope all this can be resolved and taken care of soon. I don't want any more problems or things to escalate any worse, or have my family go through any more, or anyone to be harmed or hurt, or nothing at all, and no attention at all whatsoever on any of that. None. There's no need to have tarnish like this put on South.St.Paul like this, but without bringing awareness and to deal with this, like it never get dealt with or taken care of. And all I want and all I'm asking for is what's right is right. The laws are the laws, the rules are the rules, and they're put in place for a reason. And what good are they, or what are they going to do if the legal systems ain't going to enforce it or follow it themselves on their behalf, but instead they want to enforce it and press it down on others, you know? I'll take my lickings, I'll take my responsibility for trespassing and damage and so on and so on. I'll take my lickings and I'll do my time, and I'll accept my responsibility, accept my wrongdoing, and face it and deal with it like I should, and I will. Like I said, I don't agree to doing it in this measure or this way, but I can honestly say I've given it everything I've got, and this is my last step, my last resort, my last stand, you know what I mean? Sorry about, you know, some of the heated videos I put out there, swearing and so on and so forth. Very emotional, very hard, very frustrating, I apologize. I know it's hard. I mean, I just put it out there to make it publicly, like, because I wasn't getting the help or the respect or the legal system to deal with the situation as it should have. But I don't know. Apologize, I guess, to people that got to live here in South.St.Paul and have something like this, you know, be brought up in the middle of their town, and someone up on a sign with a, you know, no one wants to see that shit driving through a town, sex offender, like, you know. Then the whole town gets labeled like, yeah, that's a sex offender town, and you got people, you know what I mean? Let's hope try to resolve this as soon as possible, and try to move forward and learn from the mistakes, and maybe we can do better, you know. South.St.Paul is a good town. It's a quiet town. There's a lot of roots here, like a lot of people that live here and they're raised here, and their parents, I mean, not saying they're all rednecks or nothing like that, but like I said, there's only one black kid in school when I went to school. I mean, and he was adopted, so I mean, I don't know. But I don't know. Appreciate everyone's help and support, and I don't want any of it to, you know, be hostile or vulgar or hateful or mean or none of that. You know what I mean? Just try and address it positive. Without having anything positive, you're not going to get any kind of positive result. Keep addressing it and attacking it negative. It's just going to end up with more of a negative result, negative ending, and negative without any type of positive interaction or positive feedback or positive response on dealing with it and trying to move forward. There's just, it's not going to have a positive outcome, and that's all we need to work for, is just a positive outcome. Thank everyone for the time and that, and sleep tight. I'll be the watchdog for tonight, huh?